If you were representing Deshaun, or if you needed more information, like, what would be his defense here if these cases keep filing up? Like, how does he try and, prove his innocence, essentially?
Well, one thing that's very critical when it comes to looking at these lawsuits versus somebody who is, arrested and charged by the state is if you're charged as a criminal defendant, Jake, the proof is beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the highest burden of proof in law, right? And because if we're taking away someone's freedom, we want to be really sure that we're correct. These are civil lawsuits, which means the burden of proof is different. They are preponderance of the evidence, which means more likely than not. So it's a lower burden of proof for the plaintiff to win. I think as far as a defense, this is, and Deshaun Watson hired Rusty Hardin yesterday, which I thought was a really smart move because, Rusty has defended Roger Clemens successfully against the federal government. Like, that is not easy to do. The government usually wins on almost all of their cases. And Rusty has dealt with professional athletes in many capacities in the law. And so I think he'll understand that this is as much of a PR battle as it is going to be a legal battle. There are 6 lawsuits, and so I'm not entirely sure, which specific defenses he might apply to different circumstances. But one overarching thing that Rusty Hardin might do whenever he holds a press conference or wherever he does from a media standpoint is I think it might be worthy for him to point out, listen, if you go back and you look at NFL players who have been suspended or had issues, Ezekiel Elliott, Ben Roethlisberger, in some capacity, and when I say this, Jake, just know I don't know what truly happened between Deshaun Watson and any of these plaintiffs. I've read the first 3 of these complaints so far, the first 3 of the lawsuits. But one thing that Rusty might do is say, hey, why weren't the police involved in any of these? Why has there never been, apparently, a single phone call to the police?